I'll call to order Fire Commission and approval of the agenda. There were several items that John was asked to put on the agenda tonight for a potential discussion. Any corrections to be made?
I do have a question,
Yeah.
Brian, about the appointment of chairperson and vice chairperson. As you recall, last year during the pandemic, we ended up changing the appointment of chairperson and vice chairperson to the month of May because of we have found the last couple of years that we do not actually appoint people to our committees and so forth until the partway through the month of April.
Yes, and John had asked me about that too, and I said it would be courteous to offer that at this time. If the city is not ready, we could do that in May, but I thought it would be courteous to offer that.
Okay, well, we can, although we have already changed the IGA.
Okay.
So
would it be appropriate to strike item 4 on the agenda? What are your suggestions?
Either that, or maybe we could just vote to suspend the bylaws before we take that vote.
I'm okay either way, whatever the commission would like, as far as the agenda goes. Right now, it's a matter of moving forward with the agenda.
yeah. All right, well, I guess let's leave it as is, and I'll move to approve the agenda as is for now.
Motion by Teresa, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. On the minutes from March 17th, any corrections?
I had a question in terms of, I believe there were some others in attendance. And probably, for example, Tom Chesmore isn't listed as additional persons, but he obviously was there.
Generally, what we do is public officials is who we identify, and certainly whoever might be in attendance of the commission itself. So we typically don't put audience as attendance, but if you'd like to include that in the minutes that he spoke or something, that would certainly be appropriate.
It's in the minutes that he spoke, so that's.
So yeah. Is there anything else on the minutes? If not, a motion to approve as drafted would be in order.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Linda, seconded by Beth.
Yes.
Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Then on item 4, how would you like to proceed on appointment of a chair and vice chair at this time?
I'm comfortable if we just make a motion to suspend the bylaws before we make the motion.
Would this be a permanent suspension, Linda, or do we just want to address
No.
it for tonight?
Just for tonight.
Okay.
So there's a motion to suspend the bylaws in reference to appointment of chair and vice chair.
Do we want to reference a date to when to suspend it to, or do we want to say May, or?
Well, I think the intention was to suspend the rule for the time being so that potentially we would actually appoint a chair and a vice chair at this time.
Mhm.
Because of John's absence and
Okay.
Right.
So there was a motion. Is there a second to suspend the bylaws for that purpose? I'm hearing no second.
I can second it.
Teresa seconds. Linda had made the motion. Any further discussion on the motion for suspending the bylaws for the purpose of appointing chair and vice chair at this time?
I think the only discussion that I would have, or it would be more of a question, I'm perfectly willing to go with whatever it is because it's the city's turn to take the chair position. And so I'm looking for direction from the city at this time for what it is that you're intending or desiring, let's put it that way.
I guess the real point is, for this purpose, is the city prepared with appointed committee members? Are they ready at this time? Sometimes we haven't appointed somebody after an election cycle, but are you ready to move forward?
Yes, it's
Okay,
absolutely are ready to move forward.
The appointments have been made. They were made earlier this week, yesterday.
and that's
Great.
usually the issue between April and May, whether or
Yep.
not you had the opportunity
Yep.
to figure out who's going to be on the commission. So on the motion to suspend the bylaws for this purpose, if there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Do you want to, is there a nomination for chair and vice chair? It's a city's turn here. Is there interest by any particular individuals?
I would like to make the motion for Teresa to be chair.
I'll second that.
Motion by Linda, seconded by Larry. I'm sorry,
No,
Bill. Bill. To appoint Teresa as chair. You want to do that first and then do vice chair?
Sure.
Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. On the vice chair.
I'll make a motion that Bill Wilson serve as vice chair.
I'll second it.
There was a motion by Linda, seconded by Teresa to appoint Bill as vice chair. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I'll yield the floor then to the chair. Teresa, please.
up for public participation. Do we have any public participation at this time? I don't hear any.
Chief Kunkel's hand is up.
Chief Kunkel, can
Yes.
we have you give your full name?
Yes, Tom Kunkel,
Okay,
Milton, Wisconsin, city resident, chief
okay,
of police for the town of Milton. I just have a comment or a question, and it came to my attention on election day, a town resident that came in to do her rightful duty to vote. And she has been told by a city member of the fire commission that the town of Milton will not have any fire protection come December 31st, which I find that comment being outrageous. And I just wanted to bring it to the commission's member that I don't believe as an elected official that something like that should be said to a member of another municipality. Thank you.
okay. Thank you.
Jerry,
Anything,
So
Ye-
there's one person who just came in, Jerry Larson. I'm not sure if he wanted to speak at all during public comments.
No, thank you.
Okay.
okay. Okay. Any other comments through public participation?
And just to confirm, there's no one in the waiting room right now. And if anyone does want to speak, you have to unmute yourself. If you're on a computer, there's a button in the lower left-hand corner. If you're on a phone, there's *6 in order to unmute yourself.
Okay. At this time, we'll go to old business, and we have a discussion and possible action regarding an update on Janesville consolidation. Is that
I believe this was carried over from the last couple of months
Okay.
during communication with the city of Janesville. And if I could just clarify, I was contacted by the city manager, Mark Freitag, and was told that the city of Milton had contacted him directly and expressed an interest in pursuing a single contract between the city of Milton and the city of Janesville, which I quite frankly feel is appropriate. There shouldn't be, if it's a contract service, it would make more sense that they're individual contracts. But that he also in the same conversation told me that since the city of Milton wanted to pursue a single contract between the city of Milton and the city of Janesville, that they would not continue to put an effort towards a joint draft agreement that would include the city of Milton, town of Milton, and the city of Janesville all in one draft document. And then he asked if the town of Milton was then interested in pursuing a separate contract catered and designed specifically between the town and the city. And I told him, yes, we are. So that's where that's been left. I have received the draft. I assume the city has, and we're working on those as we intended to a couple of months ago. That's pretty much all I have for an update on that, unless there's something else associated with it.
Well, I think that as far as the city goes, we're kind of waiting to go through this with the Wisconsin Policy Forum. And so we're really, that's really where we're at right now.
Yeah, and I just wanted, as an update, the commission had asked the mayor and I to talk with the chief and the Janesville city administrator, and that was a directive from the commission. And so my update was related specifically to that.
Mhm.
So from a commission standpoint, I don't anticipate any further updates or work on the initial task of a joint agreement between the three municipalities, including the city of Janesville. So I wouldn't anticipate that this topic would be on a future agenda, at least in the way that it's written. I'm sure there might be interest to discuss it in some form as we move forward, but that is just my update.
Mhm. Do you have any information for us? The town board has had some pretty exciting news lately with your donation from Fredericks. That's just really awesome. I think it's great. Congratulations. And
I don't know that it was a donation. I think it cost them some money.
Yeah, it was a purchase. It was an offer of land, and so I guess I'll clarify what's up with that, of course. And I think the press was delivered pretty accurately the environment around that. Since we're all trying to find a long-term solution for fire service, we wanted to secure a realistic option, and it is exactly that, an option. And at the same time, we've had for several years now been discussing issues and complications we have with our current town hall with the lack of sufficient parking. We have like 12.5 parking stalls or less. And our court and fire department, police department share the same office, which the state doesn't appreciate. Statutes advise against that. And we have very little seating because we've expanded offices inside the hall. So we have some town hall needs, and not knowing the long-term use of properties, we have a couple of squads in our police department that we need to figure out how we're going to house them potentially. So this is an opportunity to have options to explore in our future needs. Without this, we couldn't have any serious discussion how we're going to potentially resolve any of those.
That's just great. Good for you guys.
Thank you.
I worked with Jerry on this commission. I really liked him. He was a very, very good man.
The fire department was one of his passions.
Mhm.
Any other comments or questions regarding that? And you are right, we will have to look at how we want to pursue updates regarding the township and the city as we follow along in the next few months.
It's important to both municipalities that we find some way to be updated.
Yes, it is. It's not that we can just drop everything for the next 6-7 months. We need to continue to work together and plan beyond that. We need to know where we're moving forward to. So we need to figure out how we're going to do that together.
Yes, and there may be some critical transition opportunities that will be important to both of us. So I appreciate that comment.
Mhm.
Okay, so new business, discussion and possible action regarding municipality discussions on fire protection services. I don't know if this was something that came up. Linda, did you request this?
No, I didn't request this, but I do want to reiterate that the city of Milton wants to work with as many people as we can. We've been doing this for a very long time, and there is no intentions of leaving anybody out. And I'm sorry if there's people out there that think that they might get left out of this, but no. We're all in this together. This is consolidations, and fire department shortages have been going on for a very long time, and they will continue out of just need. So I just want to reiterate that the city's not walking away from anybody, that, we are willing to talk to everybody. So please don't think that that's not the case.
Yeah, I think the Wisconsin Policy Forum got mentioned before, and the city did vote to engage with the Wisconsin Policy Forum to provide advice and some analysis based on their work with other departments. And one of the things in their proposal and that's covered, it says both analysis of possible equitable cost allocation methodologies for, one, the consolidation model, meaning the unilateral city Janesville, and a standalone model under scenarios in which the townships currently served by Milton, the Milton Department, or some subset of those townships or other jurisdictions ultimately wish to receive service under that model. So the intent is to get some further analysis and advice from some folks that have got some experience in that area. And, I think that the door is open as we move forward, and especially as we start discussing what a transition might look like. In some ways, I think what happened is good. We kind of cleared the air. We're, I think, all understanding that what the city and what the town of Milton are doing are just trying to protect the best interests of the residents of our respective communities. And I think we've got a base on which we can constructively move forward and make sure that everybody is well protected and well served for whatever the interim period of time might be until we get some final model that we feel comfortable moving forward with.
Okay. Any other comments regarding this? Okay. Discussion possible action regarding possible need for a transitional Milton Fire Department model.
That was a request John had to be on the agenda. That may be premature since we don't know where that's going today, but that had been a request to be on the agenda.
I do agree that this is part of the discussion. I think that this is something that could be on our agenda as we move along, because it is a fluid process. It'll continue to change depending on, for example, what Bill had brought up, the Wisconsin Policy Forum, what kinds of feedback we get from that process will have an impact on that transition. And you also are having some feedback that will be given to you, correct?
Yeah, for the town.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're soliciting information. Yes.
Okay.
Trying to get more information and digest it. So it's a work in progress and trying to learn what direction things might be going. I don't know.
Right. And that too should affect the transition process and decision process. And so I think by putting that on the agenda and kind of leaving it there, we can discuss it and talk about it, and it might change from month to month, but that's okay. It keeps us thinking about it and making decisions that affect it one way or another. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Teresa,
Yes.
should we need to be talking about referendums? Would that be a sub discussion under the this item on the agenda?
Well, actually, if we're pursuing the unilateral stuff, then it's not the fire commission that would be talking about that. It would be the city and the town or the town separately talking about that, as opposed to the fire commission talking about it.
Yes, so the initial discussions about referendum language at the commission level was to stress the importance of supporting a cloned referendum in the event that it would be an identical scenario for each municipality and whatever the transformation model might be. But if the transformation model varies in some way or another with independent contracts, then yes, it lies more back to the city council and town board as opposed to the commission, because there was a vested interest in everybody if there were to be an identical referendum in a consolidated model, there would be value in talking about the identical referendum language and each supporting that language. So I agree that what Larry, I believe, said, it's probably back at the municipal level on the referendum stuff.
All right, so we take it back to our separate bodies, and then if it's something needs to be brought back to this group to unify some of the language, that we can do that.
Especially if there's an opportunity to support each other in referendums, just public support.
There could be a report on the agenda from the city and town on the referendum. That would be good information for, to make sure that all parties are on the fire commission are well informed.
Okay, I'll make note of that. So if you do anything, Brian, if you could report that so we could get that on the agenda, and we will do the same so we can get it to Jenny in time. Thank you, Bill. Singing along over there with his clocks. Anything else with that subject? Okay. Fire chief's report. He was here once.
Oh,
Is he still there?
he's muted.
There he is.
Hey, good evening. I'm still here, just trying to fumble with all the buttons and trying to click on. So, hey, good evening, Commission. Basically, the fire department had 83 calls last month. The training is recruit training for engine operations, recruit training for hose advancement, and then forcible entry training. I can tell you that the men and women of the fire department are still committed to the mission. They're still willing and able to serve the community with pride and professionalism, and I'm very proud of them. It's been a challenging time for them with all the everything going on and not really understanding all the information. So I'm really proud of their performance and their dedication to our mission. And if you get a chance, I think it'd be really good to give them a thank you too. And that's really the end of my report. I can tell you that from the City of Janesville hat, that we are always open to consolidation, that the contract language is your vehicle to get what you need for a comfortable, very professional, collaborative service for your communities and your citizens. And so we are always open to have that conversation to build the best system that we can build with good response times, ample resources to handle a multitude of emergencies, not only multiple calls at once, but any significant emergencies. So thank you for your time and letting me report on that. And if you get a chance, reach out to our folks and thank them for their service. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. President's report.
Okay. Hi, guys. I don't have much to report. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Jessica Matchett, and I have been on the fire department for about 4 years now. And I am the new president of the association.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And then I just wanted to let you know we have some new board of directors. We have Chris Autumn, and then we have Major Kane and Jake Lucas on the board of directors. And then there's one more spot open that we're trying to fill this upcoming month's meeting. But other than that, there isn't too much to report. And I think that's it.
Mm.
So thank you
Look-
guys.
Looks like you're on the job.
I am. We're at the high school in the ambulance for the football game right now. So
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yes. It seems funny to have not funny, but so odd when people are talking about the football game in the spring. So
With
I
the,
have a nephew that's playing football in Fond du Lac. And so when he says, now be sure to watch our game Friday night, it just throws me off. So. Okay, general items.
Teresa,
Yes,
I just wanted to mention that you and I spoke briefly with Jessica a couple times before when the commission asked you and I to speak with some of the staff a while back now. It's been over a year and a half or something like that. I forget when it was.
Yes.
So we're a little bit familiar with Jessica.
yes,
I think she'd be a good representative there.
she would be. She's at the time, she was very eager to become involved in just about all of the facets of her job. And I commend her for all of the work she's done to become involved. So I agree with Brian. I think she'll do a very, very good job.
Thank you guys.
Selfishly, I just messaged her privately. I've known Jess since she was a teenager. She's a Milton grad and she used to work for me at Bees. Love her to death. So congratulations on your new position, Jess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, for our next meeting, then a couple of things that we at this point do have on our agenda will be to talk about the transitional issues that go along with our model, what kinds of things we're going to continue to work on, any issues that come up either through the city or through the township as you're moving along that might be of issue to either end. And also from the town board and the city council, any information or concerns that come up with regard to referendums. Also, again, with regard to the city council or the town board, anything that, for example, that we may come up with, any feedback from the Wisconsin Policy Forum as we continue with our work with them, and anything that the town board would come up with, any feedback you receive as you work with the groups that you are working with. Anything else that you want to plan to talk about? If anything comes up between now and closer to the next meeting, that would you'll just have to let Jenny or I know. Okay. Anything general before we end? Okay. I have a motion for. Yes,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
okay, second,
I'll second.
okay. Motion to approve,
I,
or
Aye.
no, I mean, you've made the motion, okay, all those approve?
Aye.
See, I haven't done this for a while. Opposed? All right. Bye.
Bye.
bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice evening.
Yeah.